What's up, guys? It's time for another InstaLive. Got a really nice guest today. That's Iain O'Brien, who had a short but fun career. Hello to Vishnu, Rashmi, Ravdeep, Mrinal, Dinesh, Vinay is here. Hi Vinay, how's it going? Sharvil, Caro, Shresht. It's good to see all of you. Hope everyone's keeping well. Another couple of weeks of this lockdown and we should hopefully finally get back to some kind of normal life. So tell you a bit about Iain O'Brien, often confused for one of the other Irish O'Briens. But lovely guy, good pacer man, seriously good pacer. Takes some real quality to get the better of Iain O'Brien or even middle it with him, no matter what the age. But anyway. Dinesh Khandelwal, shout out do sir, le lo bhai Dinesh ji aap, shout out apna. This is going to be number 15 of the Beyond the Field series. So, ask him about how he picked up his chicken dance. So, I think Mrinal, you are confusing him with Kevin O'Brien. That's exactly what I said at the beginning, that there are Irish O'Briens that are known in cricket, but don't mix them up. Why am I doing my live from my bathroom? You think my bathroom looks this fancy? Anyway. Nah, I just thought I'd take a different look for today. I finished reading all those books, so now I'm just I'm done. Hope end of lockdown doesn't mean end of Insta Lives, Raunak says Ravdeep. You're my most ardent and loyal follower, Ravdeep. If I do another one, it'll just be, if I keep doing them, it'll be just for you. So anyway, so let's hope we can carry on. I have a lot more people that we can get on to this, but maybe a bit of a break is due with the frequency with which I've been doing this. Even I'm getting a little bored. I don't know if you're getting bored, but yeah. So let's see. Tell me in the comments, and maybe you could even sort of DM me or tell me if you think I should keep this going. I do have a few people that I do want to get onto this soon. What's the height difference between me and IOB? Asks Mohammed Abed Ali, and that is significant. Actually, the height difference between me and everybody is quite significant. But I keep saying this time and time again, I'm the same height as Tendulkar, Gavaskar, Lara, just about, Kane Williamson. So there's some pretty good company that I enjoy in spite of my very limited height. But that's okay. You find ways to improvise. IOB was once with us on the IPL, and we had to do a standing pit where it was IOB, Dirk Nanes, Ajit was there, Daryl Cullinan was there. So there were a lot of tall people. Eventually, I literally just had to get on top of a box. And Sunny Gavaskar does that. There are these social pictures of Gavaskar standing on a box when he has to do links at times because he needs to match the height of the broadcast camera. So anyway, Vikramaditya, keep it going, man. You seem to have a great rapport with your guests. Thanks, man. That's what I wanted to do. The cricket chat can always be on Cricinfo, and I do that often. But this was more to just have some fun, put a laugh, on your faces, and try and keep this time which has been testing for all of us a little light and fun. Ultikar says, hope you're doing well, Raunak. I am very well, hope you are, buddy. Stay safe. I used to answer regularly in your cricket quizzes. Yes, I remember that. Ashish Ultikar, if I remember correctly. Those names tend to remember because you were literally the same 45 people that kept watching, but there were more people. But yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, Sharang says your straight drive against IOB in the nets was top class. Yeah, well, I got lucky, man. You saw what he did to me after that. I would rather have not connected one of those straight drives. But we'll talk about that. We will talk about that because he's a real sport, Iain O'Brien. And that was done in Bangalore. It was part of something that we wanted to make a challenge and do a series of. And then I just realized this is okay as a one-off. I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want fast bowlers to get hurt and their teeny little egos getting crumpled again. So anyway, can I get Javagal Srinath? I have met Javagal Srinath just the once. He came to the finals of a Crick IQ that we did in 2017, I think. Lovely guy, good storyteller, actually quite funny. He's a bit of a prankster, Javagal Srinath, which is against his reputation or image that you might think of him now as a match referee, but never worked with him, so I don't enjoy a personal rapport with him. I have a lot of respect for Javagal Srinath, but yeah. Vikramaditya says IOB's Twitter game is underrated. Yeah, that's a good point. He's actually pretty good with his tweets. He tends to have a go at the right people and whatnot. Keep it going. We're missing the game so much. At least we talk about and ask questions as Sharwal. Sharwal's been great. Some really good questions. So yeah, why not? Mohammed wants to know how IOB is doing. There was some trouble. Yes, there was recently. He got stuck in New Zealand when his family was in London, and it took a lot to finally get him there. There was plenty of trouble with flights and whatnot, as you know, a number of us might have gone through. But it was particularly bad for Obi. So he's back with his family. That's a good thing, and we will ask him that when he joins. In fact, he's joined. So let me get him on right away. With no further ado, right. You should be with us any minute now.
Oh, hold on.
Well,
Wrong way.
That's not you, mate.
Sheesh.
Hey, Obi.
That's my bedroom studio setup. Yeah, because that's my studio where I've been doing a fair bit of recording, fair bit of this, but the opposite way around. I'd normally be on top, and you'd normally be what? Oh, hold on, yeah.
Yeah, this is sounding a bit odd, isn't it? This is an odd way to start.
Mate, hey, I'll guess it here, huh?
Well done. I was going to bring this up. Obi is one of the most fluent Hindi speaking foreign cricketers that we've ever had. But I'm very well, Obi. Aap kaise ho?
Lajoie.
Yes, I knew it. I was wondering how long it'll be before we get into it. But well done, Obi. It's so good to see you, my friend.
It was either going to be Betareen or Bahut Acha. You know, man, I'm really good. I'm really good,
now,
man.
Now I want to ask you, honestly, do you still have all this from memory, or did you have to brush up on it before we did this chat? Or is it stuck in
No. The real basic bits, and those are the basic bits. They're all stuck in there. I can still count to 10 easily. I can say
go for it.
Good night.
Go for it. 1 to 10 easily.
Ik doe chache panj che sa at no das.
Well done. You missed out 10, but that was pretty good. I'll give you a 9 out of 10.
Ik doe 10. Sorry, ik doe 10 char. Yeah, sorry. The kids can speak. Kids can do 10 in Hindi as well. We've sort of I brought that. I taught them, and so they're pretty good at little bits and pieces. My Marathi is terrible. All I can remember was Abhariya hai, was thank you in Marathi. So
Abhariya hai, yeah, Abhariya hai.
Abhariya hai. So if I'm ever back in Bombay, I've got my thank you sorted for Bombay. But yeah, no, it's just that little thing, and I've said this to you before. Like if I go anywhere overseas, and you can start an interaction with someone in a store, someone in a restaurant, someone in a cafe. You can start an interaction in their language. They always give you better service than if you just tried it in your very basic English.
Yeah.
So I've always tried. You know, if I'm in anywhere that speaks Spanish or French or Italian or Hindi or Marathi or Tamil or you know. Malay,
Malayalam.
Malayalam. I've always tried to speak a little bit of the local, and learning Hindi has also been through learning Urdu as well, because it's pretty much same, and I'm not going to say it is same, but it's more similar than say Portuguese and Spanish is. So you know,
Mate, you know, I mean, I know this about you, but I'm so glad whoever's watching this gets that as well, because it's not just that. Yeah, I like what you said. You can make a conversation with a local, and not only that, when a white guy does it, we'd give them everything. We'd give them our house and our land, and we'd give them lagan. And you know what lagan is? I'm sure you know what lagan is. But
lagan. No, lagan. That's
the movie. The movie was based on. It's basically called tax. But anyway, that's just a terrible reference.
Okay.
My point.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, my point is this has always been Obi. He's loved India, and in particular, it's not like I'm sure you're a keen traveler wherever you go. But you've always had a soft spot for India, haven't you?
I've had a soft spot for madness when I can stay in control of it. The first couple of times I went to London, it was too big for me. Coming from New Zealand, I had travelled a little bit, but first time I went to London, I had travelled very little. I've been to like Australia, to Brisbane maybe once, and so the volume, the density, still bumping into shoulders at 10 o'clock in the evening was really strange for me, because at 10 o'clock at night, even on a Friday night, Saturday night at home, it's, you know, the pavements are they're not packed.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be dodging people. So the first few times I went to London, I felt really out of my comfort zone. But that prepared me for the absolute madness of Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, and then India in between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, and then coming back a few times, because I've said this to you a few times, like everything gets done really late, but it gets done.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just this absolute madness that is, there's no structure, and it's, to an extent, it is chaos.
Yeah, but we thrive in that chaos. Yeah, we thrive in that.
And from chaos is, you know, as the theory goes, from chaos, you know, there comes perfection, and it gets done. And yeah, I learned to love it. I learned to look forward in the autos and in the tuk-tuks, as opposed to in the first few times when you ride in an auto, you try not to look out the front window, because it's the most life-scaring event you've ever done.
Yeah, and I know that's the thing with you. You're not just about traveling in a way that's that you'd consider luxurious travel across India, which a lot of foreigners tend to do, right? They want to be in their they want to be in their comfort zone. Now, I was going to save this for later, but I want to go straight to that time when Obian worked with us during the 2016 IPL, and you had a nice 5 or 6 days off. You had a good schedule by that standards, and you said, I'm going to go to Goa. Now, if I think of a former international cricketer who's stayed in New Zealand and in England needs to go to Goa, he's going to look at the Taj Exotica, or he's going to look at the Oberoi property. You looked up I don't think Airbnbs were even a thing at the time. You just looked up a local, someone renting out a room with the beach and whatnot. You pay, and when you told me, how about this? It's about 600 rupees a night. I said, oh, I'm not sure, or something like that. And you went, and you had the time of your life.
I don't even think it was that much, my man. I think it was even cheaper than that. It was some sort of like backpackers accommodation. I had a room and a bedroom a room and a bathroom to myself. I hired a scooter while I was there. I think that might have cost me 200 rupees for the few days that I was there, like crazy cheap. And I just scooted everywhere. There was some forts, some old style forts that I went and visited, and drank fenny and drank so much port. And went to the beach and had a swim, and it was just, it was alone time, so it wasn't too, wasn't as much fun as it could have been. But there was a bar right next to the backpackers, and I sat in there. So because the sun goes down pretty early there, so I'd get back, have a shower after the day's events, and then go and sit in the bar and eat Goan curries and quarters and all sorts of delicious, way too cheap food, and drink a lot of beer and sit in the bar, and there was IPL on the TV, so it was just this Gora and Goa. There wasn't too many, so it was good fun, man. That was pretty cool.
I was worried because we needed you back for the end of the tournament. It's not like the tournament was over and you were going for the 600 rupee accommodation, and I took you for someone who would at least try fenny, the famous cashew fenny of Goa. Do you remember what it was like when you first tried it? Did it go down well?
It tasted like swamp water. It tasted like rotting vegetation, which I kind of have learnt that it's actually not too far from how it gets made. The cashew nut flour or something along those lines. That is the most vile liquid I have ever had in my mouth.
And you brought it back, and you might think you might think that's an act of generosity, that you brought some back for the boys. And the minute you said, "Hey guys, look what I got you from Goa," I wasn't going near it. But I remember Suketu and Abhishek. They've got livers. I mean, I don't know what they've got. They've got some other creatures' livers, and they used to literally. We were in a different studio space, and I'm getting into dangerous territory with all the laws that we have. But so let's just put it, say after hours, they mixed it with their mineral water bottles, and they managed to consume it while editing our content. So that's what it took to eventually get through the IPL for them. I left the bottle in their room. I think it was like 100 rupees or something ridiculous. Like it was ridiculous to buy stuff. And you basically enjoyed Goa for about 2,000 rupees, everything put together.
I don't even know. Oh, and that would have been the flights included, probably. I'm I'm a pretty good saver, yeah, and I do come from real, and I mean the working class sort of upbringing, in terms of what kind of luxuries we got used to and what kind of things that we didn't have. So I'm pretty good at entertaining myself if I got somewhere to sleep and a toilet that's reasonably clean, then I'm pretty comfortable. So
Yep.
And it was, mate, I had somewhere to sleep and the toilet was clean. So I had a great time. Um, so yeah, every time I came there to work, I felt a little bit spoiled with the style of accommodation.
Yeah, I mean, I think we threw in a Ritz-Carlton in one year, didn't we? Or at least at
Yes,
some
sir.
point.
That was the year before.
Yeah, that was so out of place. Yeah.
And I actually caught up with a couple of the players that year, and they came to the Ritz-Carlton to say, "Oh, where are you?" and so they started staying the next year. The players were staying at the Ritz-Carlton from basically then on.
That's right.
So I have a feeling that I think Martin Crowe sought that out originally as a deal, and then I think I'm the one that then ended up the players, because of coming there and having a couple of cups of chai with me. They were like, "Oh, we're coming here."
And this was stunning. Like the Ritz-Carlton in Bangalore, it still is. But at the time, it was the first Ritz-Carlton in India. And you had the RCB team that was staying either at the Gardenia or wherever else, which is also a good hotel. But then OB, because that Ritz-Carlton, it's not like we were splurging, but that was very close to our office as well, if you remember, in Bangalore. So OB had the New Zealand boys there. And from there, the Ritz-Carlton's business just grew. They should give you a cut from all the things that you did, man. You promoted their business significantly.
I got looked after pretty well there. It was nice. I'll tell you a story though. I did tell you a story. Remember, I've forgotten his name now, but he told me, look, I like to give compliments.
Sure.
Like if someone's dressed well, I like to say that nice whatever, nice shoes, nice whatever. And one of the guys that was working for us, I've forgotten his name, which is pretty bad from me. But he told me how to tell someone that they look nice or they're well dressed.
Right.
And so one of the there was two two liaison people that worked at the hotel.
I'm remembering.
We just saw them everywhere.
This story's coming back to me. But go on. Yeah.
And two liaison people that worked there, and they always had the most beautiful saris on, and these saris were always pristine, and they were always happy. And so I sort of thought, well, I'm going to tell this girl that she's dressed beautifully, and how do they, does the hotel supply all their saris, etc. And so I said "Chalte hair care" to her, because that's what I had been told was you look nice. And I soon found out that "Chalte hair care" does not mean you look nice. Well, it can be interpreted that way, but so there was something I had to go and apologize for later on after I found out.
I think that was a prank someone played on you. I can't remember who it was.
Yes, of course it was. Of course it was. It was a lovely prank, and it did cause me some extreme embarrassment when I learnt actually what it meant.
And you enjoyed your time in Bangalore as well. I remember when Alexis was around. Did you also have a crack at the henna, at the mehendi? Did you do something?
I was all over the mehendi.
Yeah, you got something done.
Yeah, I had loads done. I had like full sleeves done. I had that done 3 or 4 times, and then even when I was in Bombay, up in Mumbai, I had some more mehendi done. And I've got some tubes of it here. We do it on the kids and Rosie. It's just like a temporary tattoo, but it's kind of cooler. So my wife, she's actually got quite good at it.
Has she?
And even in that sort of marriage style art, and it is, I love it. I love mehendi.
I can't stand the fragrance, or if you call it the fragrance, I can't stand the smell of mehendi. I don't know what you. You're more Indian than a lot of us will be. Trust me. You with your language.
Don't make me do the head wobble.
Oh, we've got into so many good memories from that time that I've actually forgotten to ask at the very top. I hope that's the wobble. That's the wobble that Iain O'Brien and most of the Western world thinks that is just reminiscent of India. That everyone, if you say yes or no, and you just go, and you're not sure which one it is.
I've worked out what it is, though. No, I genuinely worked out what it is. The head wobble is "I see you." It is not necessarily I'm listening and I agree or I disagree. It's an "I see you," and I worked this out when I was in the we're going to work in a sort of dark windowed, air conditioned van, and people can still see in, and they're looking in to find out who's that in the dark windowed van, and I would just give them the little that, and they would just make their day, because they would kind of like give it back, as in I see you, and then they were like, what's a gora, eh? That doesn't make any sense. So I kind of worked out where and how to use it in the right way, in that cultural way where language and body language becomes a form of communication. So I kind of learnt some of the subtleties of the culture, if that makes sense as well, which is kind of cool, you know. I think I did.
The other thing you also learned, I think, in your time here is, as much as you love India, and I think anyone who's watched this would be able to tell that you genuinely had a thing for India. The most Indian thing about us is how easily we take offense. And I remember you going to the RCB game, right? And writing what was a beautiful piece. Like I enjoyed reading that piece, and you captured the whole story of what it was like to go to a game. And all we caught on was you having a mention saying there were a few dogs that you saw that were eating out of the trash, which is perfectly fine for all of us to say. But the minute you say it, we jumped on you. You remember that?
I said,
you were stunned.
It actually hurt me, man. I talked about the potholes in the roads on the way to Chinnaswamy, and I talked about the piles of rubbish on a corner, and there might be cows or dogs just eating out of the rubbish, and they were observations out of my eyes because I see them, but they're not things that you see because they're not things that you see. Well, you've stopped seeing them because it's not unusual. So I still saw them because they were unusual, and you know that's a human thing. We're trained to see the unusual. That keeps us safe. That's like that's a thing that's good for us. And so you don't see those things because it's in the usual bucket. But I was seeing these things, and I wanted to a Westerner in the biggest party in the world, and a game of cricket breaks out. Like Chinnaswamy is a rock concert, and then all of a sudden there's some cricket going on. And genuinely some of the comments, don't read the comments, but those comments actually, they hurt me. I genuinely felt that I had I done the slightly racist that you don't know when you're being racist thing, you know, that sort of subtle racism, that racism that where if I was just doing this, you know, in a normal conversation, that could now be interpreted that I'm being racist, but I know you in a way that you know that I'm not doing that.
That's exactly why. That's why I brought it up.
And if I started doing my best Indian accent to you, you know that I wouldn't be doing it in a mocking way, because I also know that for me to be understood in India, I actually did have to talk in a bit of an Indian accent, because that's your English,
and that's how.
There was a girl, Meghna, in the Bombay office.
You remember her,
she took me to a couple of places in Bombay, and she said, then I was talking about like family and stuff. I said, "Oh, where are your parents?" "Oh, they wouldn't be able to understand you." So I did my best Indian accent, and she goes, "Yes, they would." And it's like, it's mocking if in the wrong context, but it's actually a way to communicate. And so So
that's the thing. That's the thing about
even now.
Even
now I feel like I could be slammed for being sort of just a little bit. It's not the intention. But you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. But that's what makes us what we are. We'll find a way to take offense. It's one of the many things that you might actually like about us. It's when Coldplay came here and did a video and took off, and eventually the video was filled with kids from the slums in colors and whatnot. And India was in outrage, saying, "Oh my God, you know, this is the best that you could show of India, Coldplay." And it was actually beautiful. I liked it, but I could see why people didn't. And the best tweet I remember seeing on that time was, the most Indian thing about the Coldplay video is the reaction. That's it. That was it. It was just that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I tell you what. Don't sing Coldplay's "Yellow" in China.
Yeah. Ooh.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No, seriously, go and have a look at the words, because I
You
thought, oh, I can probably sing that. No, I genuinely
and you've
thought,
had
oh,
some
I can
time in
probably sing
China,
that.
haven't you? You've had
And
some
I've had
time in
some
China.
time in China, and I was singing Yellow in China on karaoke, which means the words are on the screen. And I was reading the words, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be singing this anymore. I did not know. I had never made any sort of connection. Oh, geez, go and look at the words at the end of this and think
Oh
of singing.
goodness.
Don't ever. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. I must now, even though this has been so much fun already. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I must ask you how you're doing. I hope things are well. You've had a tough few months and getting back home from New Zealand to Matlock. Are things all right, mate? Everyone good at home? You good?
Yeah. Everything. I'm actually going to do some more. Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah. That thing as well. No, mate. Thank you. Everything's really cool. Yeah, it was. I had an extra 2 weeks in New Zealand than expected, which would normally be nice, but it was 2 weeks in a house with my mum and dad, which was nice.
Sure.
But it was 2 weeks where, yeah, I needed to be here. And then it was 2 weeks that cost more money because I was still in New Zealand. Then it was 2 weeks that cost more money because I had to buy a stupidly expensive plane ticket to get back.
Yeah.
But I'm back, and I did my 2 weeks in quarantine in the nicest quarantine jail in the world. You know, my house on the top floor. So, so yeah, home back. Kids are doing great with homeschooling. I have a teaching background, so I cover the science and maths
I'm
sort of
guessing.
side of it.
I'm guessing the languages if they need to study those.
Yeah, a little bit. Rosie's good with her language, with her English and stuff. So we complement each other. And the kids have really taken to homeschooling, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
But I could do with a run around. I could do with I could do with a long walk to the markets, to the market part of Bangalore. Used to love those walks because that was like my fitness. That was like my fitness. I'd go for a swim and then I'd do a long walk to the market part. Commercial road.
And at a time when we didn't have a huge diktat on what the wardrobe needs to be, those walks in the market used to result in IOB's wardrobe for the rest of the trip. I think if I have to close my eyes and think of Iain O'Brien first time, I'll imagine him wearing a purple kurta because that was it.
That came down to about mid-thigh with some yellow jeans. I've still got that, mate, and I actually was tossing up wearing that right now.
So I'm glad, and that's it. It's a genuine affinity that Obi had to India.
Yeah.
And all things.
And I've got a couple of what are they? The Nero jackets.
The Nehru jackets. Yeah, I put out the post I put out for you. I specifically took the pictures where you were wearing one of your Nehru jackets or your and you could. The thing with you is you could pull it all off. You could carry it all off. I don't think there are too many people that would.
I was that white that I could.
This is what I love about doing this on an InstaLive. You could say whatever the hell you want, and there's no problem. You could just say whatever that you want.
Yeah, but I think you understand this is me anyway.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like
sure.
I will walk away from this conversation, and so far it's been at a pretty quick rate.
Yeah.
But this is a normal conversation for me.
You bet.
You know. And I haven't done my Indian accent yet, so it's good.
I think we'd hold on to that. I think everyone's understanding you just fine. But I'm going to take some questions that came through for Obi. This one's from Srijit. I like this one. He says, Obi, did anyone tell you that you looked a bit like Nicolas Cage? There's a photo of you wearing sunglasses in New Zealand Test whites and looking to your left. And he says, he says that one is just Nicolas Cage. Have you got that before?
No, not Nicolas Cage. That's probably the hottest photo of me that I've ever seen. I was actually talking to Mike Hessen at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I look good. I wish I could have looked that good most of the time, but I've never heard Nicolas Cage. If I am Nicolas Cage, it's a Leaving Las Vegas movie. It's that one. I think I look a bit more like that. I used to get, I got Jerry Seinfeld once, which I don't really get.
No.
I used to get called Dr. Cox. So the guy from Scrubs, the doctor from Scrubs, the big meanie. Scott Styris sort of started that one up, and I can kind of see that one. But mostly my brother from another mother is Rory McIlroy.
Okay.
If you have a look at both of us with a hat on, we got the same nose and we got the same sort of curly hair. No, he is my brother from another mother. He's just a bit younger, you know.
Yeah, I can. You're
A bit richer.
you're a decent golfer, though, aren't you?
I can get around the course. Yeah, I've been around a few times with Edget. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Arya, you remember Arya who used to be?
Yeah. Adi is wonderful.
Arya
Beautiful
says
man.
Obi was definitely one of my favorite human beings ever, and my favorite cricket personality that he's not related to. So this is Arya's subtle way of saying he's
Of
related
course.
to Akash Chopra. But yeah, there are only good things that we remember of Obi. This one's from Ravdeep. He goes back to Hamilton in 2009. You got the holy wickets of Sachin, Dravid, and Dhoni with snotters in Hamilton. How satisfying was that?
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded Sehwag and Gambia. That would have been a nice fight.
Didn't you get Gambhir some part of that tour though? I think you did get Gambhir.
Yeah. Got him at the basin. I certainly got him at the basin.
Yeah.
Might have got him.
He doesn't forgive you till date. He's a man that remembers Gautam Gambhir. He's an angry man.
I tell you what. There was we had a bit of a pop at him during that Test match. We thought we could just rough him a little bit.
Yeah.
And we were the last team to ever talk to him. He got 100. No, he got 100 in that Test match.
That was a good
we
season.
talked to him.
Yeah.
And he didn't get another Test 100 after that because no one talked to him. He was a player that needed a bit of needle, needed a bit of spike to get him going. And if you have a look at his record after that Test match, I think there may be 100 possibly, but it's certainly there's the ratio before and after that. No.
There's this impression though that the Kiwis aren't really known for giving a bit of needle. That's just is that more of what we make of them? When you're bowling, or at least as a fielding unit, you tend to give a decent amount.
We didn't give a lot, and it wasn't. Look, I wasn't very intelligent with it either. You know, like it was most of my stuff was what can you hit that harder? You know what. Like if they've hit one and then they don't hit the next delivery, it's like, well, why didn't you hit that one? You know, like, so it's not, there were some times where I knew I could just take a batsman out of their concentration. And there were some times where I thought I could and didn't. We didn't really say a lot. There were times, yes, of course. There are times when you go, yeah, we're going to have a go at that guy. We'll make his debut bad, or we'll try and leave a lasting memory, but not very often, and we weren't good enough at it either. But certainly now there's been a real change since you look at when the Phil Hughes died. New Zealand team is completely different, and I completely love it, and I think it would be very hard for me to get it wrong, like I did sometimes. I think I would play the game a lot differently because it means a whole lot less now, the game of cricket.
Sure.
And I really do look at that period when New Zealand were in the UAE, and so I think
that was literally the Test match that got suspended, wasn't it? It was the New Zealand Pakistan Test match. Yeah.
They went to the game. They then went home for the day. And it was just like, well, just call the game off. You're not going to come back. Yeah. They went home for the day, and then they came back the next day, and they were still contemplating, but no, they didn't, which is completely the right call. And that day is the day that cricket changed, and a lot of people changed because of it, because it just became a game of cricket. You must read out that most recent comment down the bottom. I can just see
the one on Ponting.
Yeah.
All right, Ravdeep says, all right, let's go to that one then. The send-off you gave to Ponting after getting him caught at mid-wicket. Go for it, mate.
So there's something that Martin Crowe said. 3 things in life: death, taxes, and runs at Adelaide. And Ponting had pulled a short one out to in Brisbane in the first Test out to the deep, very, very deep mid-wicket, because the square boundaries at Brisbane are huge. And he pulled a half tracker out to the boundary man and got caught in the first Test. And then second Test, he was on about 70 and pulled another short one to Peter Fulton, the only guy that could have caught it at mid-wicket. And Peter Fulton, arms upstretched, and took the catch. And I said to Ricky Ponting, there's one word I will leave out. I said, you've missed out here. There might have been I might have just dropped an F-bomb in there. Just, you've missed out here. and it wasn't really a send off. It was like you've missed out because this pitch is flat, and you're on 70. Like you should have got 140 at least.
Yeah.
And he said, "What did you say?" And I said, "You've missed out here." and then all the New Zealand guys got stuck in, and yeah, it got a little bit feisty.
Sure.
So yes, it was a bit of a send off. When I told. Because I did media that night, I was the guy that was put up for media, and our media liaison said, "What did you say to him?" And I just said, "Oh, you've missed out." I said, "You've missed out," and he's like, "Really? Is that all?" And I was like, "Yeah," because he had missed out, and I think that was where the frustration came from. Because yes, he had missed out, he knew that, and I just reinforced it. But so yeah, a bit of a dickish thing to do, but it wasn't as big a send off as it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I also like that you mentioned, going back to it, that the day the Phil Hughes incident changed cricket. But when Iain O'Brien and me recorded that challenge that we did in Bangalore, that was before that. And at that time the game was a lot lighter and easier. Yeah. And now I think back, the thing was, a lot of people have asked me, why on earth were you not wearing a helmet? I wasn't even wearing a box that day or a helmet. I just thought, because Obi's retired, he's just going to roll his arm over. He's not going to. And little did I know what was to follow. I'm just going to say this in light now. But my word, if I look back at that now, it was one thing that I was foolish enough not to wear a helmet in a box. But it's not like you were very giving with the short stuff.
Right. Admittedly, it was an indoor cricket ball, so they are a lot lighter and a lot softer. They still hurt when they hit.
Yeah,
certainly hitting fingers, and I've never ever seen a nasty bad injury from an indoor cricket ball. And I've played a lot of indoor cricket. I used to I played indoor cricket for New Zealand. I did all right, and so I've never ever seen. I've worn a brand new ball in the just here, and it was brand new, and I was 2 meters away from the batsman. And I had lines where the seam had cut, as I had these little dot, the seam marks had given me little like little sewing stitches in my chin, and that didn't, if that was a cricket ball, that's a broken jaw sort of thing. So I did know what an indoor cricket ball can do, but I still look back and that's dumb. We were stupid.
Yeah,
and
it was fun.
I've read the comments on it, and there was comments on it after the Phil Hughes thing. So people have still gone back and watched it, and they said, "Yeah, you guys are idiots." And I was like, "Yeah, we were." I think that's spot on. The whole world changed, man, and I'm happy for it. But that was fun.
It was fun.
You did be hitting for one of the most glorious off drives. No, give me one more.
You're being nice. I wish I wouldn't have. Maybe then you would have just continued bowling outside the off stump and have continued missing. That changed the line of attack.
You did. No, you did hit me for one of the most glorious off drives.
That's what I'm saying. I wish I didn't, because then came the bouncer and the Yorker on the foot. So if I'd have continued swinging and missing, I would have just gone 6 balls without nothing, and I would have been happy with that. But Shashrik is giving me a bit of a sledge. He's saying Obi was rolling his arm over in that video. So okay.
It's a short run up. No, that was pretty quick, Ron. Like I was trying hard in terms of your ability. I'm not taking anything away. I was trying pretty hard to get you out, and then
have some fun.
Yeah, mate, and to really, because there is no feeling like that fear like I had against Dale Steyn a lot, and a lot of others, that of actually this guy can seriously hurt me. There is nothing like that I've ever experienced in my life. Maybe military, maybe armed forces sort of thing, but the fighters and so I kind of wanted to share that feeling with you a little bit. Like,
sure. It's a bit of a thrill, right? It's a bittersweet thing.
No, not really. No, I hated it.
Fine. All right.
But I wanted to share that with you, like what it is like.
And I know also that it's a thing with every sportsman. Sometimes you never lose the competitive edge. And you were still playing some indoor cricket at the time, if I remember. You told me that indoor cricket was still part of. And a couple of years later, when we did the IPL in Mumbai, when you and Dirk were, we were all just bored, right? Just the same routine and terrible work hours till 3-4 a.m. And one day on a weekend or something in the afternoon, in the basking sun of Mumbai in May, you two decided to come join us for a game of cricket, if you remember that.
Yeah, I came down a few times, and look, I have one rule. I have one rule is don't cheat your mates, Ron.
Yeah.
I've got one rule, Ron. Don't cheat your mates. Can you remember the last out, Ron? Yeah? Okay. You don't remember. I do. Don't cheat your mates, bro.
You still remember.
I am. Yeah, I am. I remember. Of course I do. You don't cheat your mates. Like if there's a referee, if there's an umpire, that's cool. Try and get away with whatever you can, but not win. Don't cheat your mates, bro.
You mean?
Yada?
Well, anyway, it's now not suddenly it's not coming to me right now. I don't remember what you're talking.
Yeah, good.
Anyway, this has been brilliant. I'm so glad I've got to catch up with you, and I thank the lockdown for this. But now it's time for something that I do with all my guests on this. It's called the rapid fire, mate. You ready for it?
Yeah. But see, this is where I struggle. I like social media because I can take 10 minutes to think of a good reply. This is
going to be like the mouthing you used to give to batsmen, right? Just say whatever comes to mind. If it's not very clear,
it's not very clear.
No, I think you do fine, mate. You ready to go, Obi?
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right, let's go. If you weren't a cricketer, what do you think you would have been?
A bum. Probably a teacher.
All right.
I did that at university, so teacher.
Brilliant. If you had to pick one Aussie cricketer to spend the lockdown with, who'd you pick?
I'd pick Dirk. I love Dirk.
All right. One food item you cannot get enough of.
A chicken boona, a boona chicken, a curry. Yeah. Curry every time a curry.
Best film or web series you've seen of late?
Of late. Really enjoyed. Oh, there's one of late called the Night Manager. That's not of late. That's sort of like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. The Night Manager, sure. Unbelievable, best series I've ever seen.
Brilliant. One holiday destination you can visit again and again.
New Zealand. Can I say New Zealand now?
It's a holiday destination, is it for you?
It's a holiday destination now. I'd go back to South Africa. With in the right sort of scenario. Yeah.
All right. The best part about India is?
How do you say crazy? Parag?
Pagal is crazy, but
Pagalpan
would be the right word. Yeah, Pagalpan would be the right word.
It's madness. The best part of India is its madness and how it just works, and I love it. Absolutely love it.
Brilliant. Best captain you played under?
Vittori.
All right. Biggest influence on your cricket career?
I've always said Vittori for this because he actually made me a better player. He's a guy that he made me a better player. But I've kind of neglected that my little brother because he's the one that we beat each other up with when we were playing cricket. He's the one that got beat up a few times in terms of me bowling too quick. So he's actually my greatest influence.
Great. So all those hearts on the InstaLive with Dan, they were genuine. You genuinely were sending him.
No. I love Dan. I wouldn't turn for him, but I love him.
Brilliant. I know enough men that would, Obi. But anyway, the smartest cricketing brain according to you?
Dan.
Okay. Who has the best sense of humor?
No, it'll be Dan or Shane Bond.
Okay.
They would probably be equal, yeah.
Who has the best sense of humor in cricket according to you?
Best sense of humor. Who do I laugh at? I don't know. I didn't get to know guys well enough when I was in the changing room. I couldn't do that. But like Bondy, I'll say Bondy. Bondy's just brilliant. I love Shane. I wish I could have been. Yeah.
Okay, got it. One rule change you'd bring about in cricket?
One rule change or law change?
Whatever. Law change, rule change.
That day-night test matches have 2 half-an-hour breaks instead of a 40 and a 20.
Okay. The best part about working for Cricinfo was?
The people.
Good man.
Ordering in.
Yeah.
We would order in our tea, order in our food.
All right, time to pick. Touring England or touring the subcontinent? What was more fun?
More fun?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, subcontinent.
Brilliant.
That was madness fun.
One batsman you loved bowling to?
BJ Watling.
One batsman
I used to get him out for fun back in first class cricket.
One batsman you hated bowling to?
Sehwag.
Okay.
Sehwag and Dilshan just ruined me. Nightmares.
Toughest bowler you ever faced?
Stain.
Yeah.
I was scared. Like genuinely petrified.
Okay. One bowler from today's generation that you would have loved to bowl in tandem with.
From today's generation. I would love to see how Neil Wagner and myself went together. Like he's basically, when I say this with the most respect, he's me part two and way better. Like he bowls the dirty overs, which I kind of felt that I wanted to do, but he does it way better than I ever could do. I'd love to bowl in tandem with him. I'm not sure how it would go, but it'll be
fun to watch.
Quite fun. Yeah.
All right, one batsman from today's generation you would have loved to bowl to.
Kohli. I'd love to have bowled. I think I bowled to him once, maybe twice. I'd love to spend a bit more time bowling to him.
Okay.
Sure. Just sliding one across him.
I guess Kohli in his prime, we would have loved to bowl to that. That would have been fun.
Oh no, now. Thanks.
Yeah, right now. Yeah. Okay. Rank in order of impact on New Zealand cricket according to you: Martin Crowe, Richard Hadlee, Stephen Fleming, Brendan McCullum.
Oh, in longevity impact, Richard Hadlee. Oh my word. Flem, Crowe, Vittori. Now I can't justify that, but I think that's fair.
Yeah, I guess it's just a way to, it's a small way to just put up an emotion or a chat. Yeah, doesn't need to mean anything.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Time to pick. As a bowler, Southee or Bolt?
Southee.
As a batsman, Smith or Kohli?
Kohli.
All right. Living in New Zealand or living in the UK?
New Zealand. Don't tell my wife.
Writing or commentary?
Oh, commentary. Oh, that's so much fun.
All right. Beer or wine?
Wine. Sula.
Sula. Oh God, Obi, how can anyone think that you don't like India? But anyway, you like the worst of India. You like the worst thing. You like fenny and you like sula and oh God.
I don't like fenny. No, I like going down to the bottle store and seeing them buying little boxes of whiskey and plastic bags of water. Yep. That cracked me right up. Okay. And then this Gorda comes along and asks for 6 bottles of sula.
And a man from New Zealand who wants to have sula wines. Anyway, God. First thing that comes to mind when I say the IPL.
Party.
All right. Derbyshire.
Almost home.
Kane Williamson.
Oh, phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Tendulkar.
Retire. Retire. Walk away. Go into the sunset. Yeah, but just stay out of it and just go and retire and go off into the sunset.
This is how you undo all your good work about India.
No. This is how just go off into the sunset and live a wonderful life where you don't have to deal with conjecture, where you don't have to deal with people taking things you say wrong. Just go and ride off into the sunset.
I know exactly what you mean. I actually know exactly what you mean and what you're trying to say.
And I love his passion for it, but I just wish he would, for himself, not me.
Yeah, sure.
I love seeing, but for himself, I wish he would just ride off into the sunset.
All right, and last few. First thing that comes to mind when I say stats and data in cricket. I know you're a fan.
Hugely important.
Quick info.
A verb.
And lastly, me.
A verb. No. Oh, mate, just good fun. A friend.
Yeah.
Yada. Dorst. I see what you've done here.
I know.
You made everything about India a lot easier. And that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Well,
everything about India, so much easier to acclimatize.
Yeah.
Albariya, hey.
Well done, brilliant, mate. It was
awesome.
my pleasure, and this has been so much fun. Let's hope you and me can get together in India amidst the madness and open a bottle of sula. Yeah. No, I don't think so.
I need and you still have my gold cricket bat over.
I do have your gold bat. It's actually in the office. It's at the Cricket office. Yeah. If you want to know what that is, we played this complicated game as hell, right? It'll never be played on television again. It was, it was
I
our
love
four
sports,
guests.
man. I love numbers.
It was our four guests. There was Obi, Dirk Nanes, Daryl Cullen, Ajit Agarkar, playing something called a fantasy come selector come whatnot sort of game. And each player had to adopt two teams. Obi had taken Mumbai and Sunrisers, and he remains very passionate about those two teams. It was 2016, so it was the year that Sunrisers won it. And Obi ended up winning the whole thing. He actually got the grasp of it. Poor Daryl Cullen still can't figure it out. But Obi had to get this big golden bat as his prize, and he's not taking it back because he said that's just going to add to my excess baggage. And what's he going to do with a golden bat? So you left it back there.
I was like, what am I going to do with this? And I said, I'll come back and win it next year. Those emails didn't get answered. When you said Crick Info, first thing that came to mind, I should say unanswered emails.
Mate, this has been great fun, Obi. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
You take care, and we'll catch up again soon.
Take care. Love you, mate. Take care.
Bye, mate.
See you.
All right, that was great fun. Iain O'Brien's just lovely. He loves everything about India, and I think India pretty much had the same feelings for him when he was here. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. He just won everyone over, from the staff at Crick Info, guys that he used to meet in the market, Bombay, Bangalore, Goa, no matter what. So he was awesome, simply put. Hope you enjoyed that. It was good fun catching up with Obi. More coming up, I guess, in a few days. And I've taken your feedback well on how many you'd like to see. So I'll keep that on. And I love Ravdeep saying, one of the rare occasions when you were finding ways to speak. No, I'm great for the other guy to talk, man. Makes my life a lot easier. So Obi's a great talker. He's a great storyteller, and he's very genuine with his storytelling. So that's always fun. Anyway, I'm glad you liked it. Full episode will be up on YouTube tonight. And until the next time, take care, stay safe, and take care of your family. See you soon. Bye.